Hi, you guys. Well, hello from my hotel room, beachside, Florida. So my husband surprised me because it's my birthday in a couple days. He surprised me by taking us on a trip to the beach. I had no idea we were coming, but I just have to say that because, hello, coolest thing about what we do is that I can literally do it from anywhere. That's amazing. That's amazing. A lot of times people take that for granted. Not this girl. So, anyways, today what I'm going to be talking to you about is answering the question. So, what do you actually need to do if you want to reach this goal, right? So, everyone who is in this group right now has this big, amazing goal that they are trying to get to. And oftentimes, well, not oftentimes, every time, when you're trying to reach a really awesome, amazing goal, you will reach frustration along the way. You will feel like, is this ever gonna work? Like, how am I gonna do this? And you're gonna ask yourself over and over and over, but what do I actually need to do? Like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like, how do I get to my goal? Like, what do I need to do? I know what I'm doing right now, but what do I need to do, right? Right. Like, that's what everyone wants to know. Let me just say this. There is no one better to be teaching you than the other people who are in this group, like the other leaders, Chelsea, Jamie, Janelle, Jen. Like, there's no one better to be learning from than them. Like, they're the best. They're the best. My forte is an implementation and specifically helping people to figure out why they're actually not implementing, helping people to figure out why they're actually not reaching that goal. So if you're someone who has felt stuck, if you're someone who's been trying to reach the same goal over and over and over, if you're someone who gets super excited about your business and then you're like, oh, life happened. If you're someone who falls into that category, then I think what I'm going to share with you today is going to help because I'm just going to tell you the truth. And to be honest, I feel like what I'm going to share with you today is something that should be said more often. And like I said, my forte is really in looking at, because I'm an implementer. Usually in my businesses, people have to slow me down because I understand it and I just want to go and do it. And bulldoze things, which is not always the best idea. So helping you to figure out what you're not doing and what you need to be doing and kind of where a disconnect might be happening for you is what I want to do today. So I have some notes. I hope that's okay if I use notes because I'm at the beach and I kind of have beach brain right now. So just hang with me, okay? Okay, so covered that. Okay, number one thing that I feel like people really, I don't know if the word is miss out on, but yes, we are in a fun, fitness-based business with lots of happy people who are, working on becoming their best selves. And what we do is we help other people get healthier, happier, more fulfilled, and that's amazing. And so I think the trap that people fall into is thinking that they're not going to have to make a sacrifice. Because this business is fun, fitness-based, full of happy people who are working on being their best, you think you don't have to make a sacrifice. Like, you just think this should be a fun fitness business and that there is no sacrifice to be made. And that is not true. In fact, the number one thing that I see, especially newer coaches make or coaches who just get stuck, is this. They've heard the term power hour, and so they limit their business to 1 hour. You're going to get stuck. You're going to get stuck. Because if your business is growing, there should be more for you to do than you can actually get done in 1 hour. The power hour is like you committing yourself every single day to at least 1 hour of focus time. 1 hour of focus time. That's what that power hour is. That power hour is not just you only need to work your business for 1 hour. I mean, you don't need to work your business all day long. I mean, it goes according to whatever goals that you have, but that's a trap. People think that they are not going to have to make a sacrifice, and you're going to have to make a sacrifice. For me personally, the sacrifice that I made early on in my business was TV. I do not watch TV anymore except for it's either Friday and Saturday or Saturday and Sunday nights with my husband. We just chill in front of the TV 2 nights a week. The rest of the entire week, our TV is never on. Why? Is that a sacrifice you need to make? Not necessarily. Maybe you don't need to make that sacrifice, but I did because that was a huge distraction for me. It's too easy to just sit in front of the TV for hours and like not, want to do anything. Some people can sit in front of the TV with their laptops and work their business simultaneously, and you're my heroes. But I am a creative person and I can't do that. Like, I'm super creative, and so like I'm just going to go off into all these other realms of situations, and so I can't do that. That was my sacrifice, okay? Also, I was not a morning person typically at all. And I used to be, well, people used to tell me I was lazy, okay? But I was a teenager back when they said that. So who isn't a lazy teenager? You know what I'm saying? But I used to not be a morning person. Guess what I had to learn to be when I wanted to run my own business? I had to get up a little bit earlier. If I wanted everything else in my life to stay the same, I wanted to be able to have the same freedoms and do the same things that I did before and add something on my plate, well, that meant I needed to either get up earlier or stay up later. So that's that. And those are the sacrifices that I made. I can't tell you what sacrifices you need to make. I can only tell you what I have done, and also that you're also going to have to make them, okay? Okay, number 2 is stop getting distracted. Yes, other coaches may make beautiful graphics. Like, can we take a minute and talk about Chelsea's graphics that she makes? What in the world? How does she make those? What is going on? I mean, can we all get an agreement that she has the most bomb graphics? Easy to get distracted. I even messaged her once. I was like, what's the deal? How do you even, I don't get it. But that she has beautiful graphics. Easy to get distracted. This coach has this training going on. This coach is calling it bikini prep group. This coach is calling it virtual boot camp. This coach is calling it this. And this coach is doing this. And this is it. And who cares? Who cares? What do you want to do? Stop getting distracted. You're not running anyone else's business. You're running yours. You're running yours. So that is something that I see in every single, I can tell you that for sure, in every single coach who gets stuck, is that they're so distracted. Might I suggest this? And this is going to be probably a new suggestion to a lot of you. Maybe not. But I suggest you unfollow a lot of coaches, if not all coaches, so that you can just do your thing and you can shine and you don't even know. You don't even know. Because guess what? If you want to know something, if you want to know what a coach is up to, guess what? You can just type their name right into the search browser and go check their page out. Handy. Same on Instagram. You can go over there and you can just check that out and check them out specifically and see what they're up to. You don't need that in your newsfeed. You do not. And full transparency, I don't follow any coaches at all. Even my friends, and I love them. But what I do is I check their page out, fairly regularly when I want to see what my friends are up to, right? So stop getting distracted. That is the number one thing that I see people do, is just look around. They just look around at all these other coaches, see what they're doing, and then they can't even think for themselves. They don't get anything done in a day except for look at what everyone else is doing. Okay, the next thing. You're going to have to get over yourself. You're going to have to get over yourself. People are going to say no. This business is not for everyone. People are going to have objections. People are going to say they're going to do something and not. You have to understand that it is not personal. It is not personal. Don't take it personal. You're the messenger. Like, look at it like that. You're just the messenger. And remove yourself personally from the equation and just realize that all you need to do is invite people to come along for the ride with you. And if they don't want to, not personal. Who cares? But you have to get over yourself throughout this whole process, because it's our own ego, it's our own fears, it's our own insecurities that keep us stuck. Like, if someone said one thing to you that hurt your feelings, if someone said one thing to you that, that made you question your ability as a coach, that you can't take that stuff personal. You have to keep powering through and realize this. You will not get the confidence that you desire as a coach until you do those things, until you just go forth and invite, okay? So, sorry, I have to look at my notes. Personal development, I wanted to touch on that because that's the number 2 biggest thing I see coaches who are stuck skipping. They're not doing their personal development anymore, and so they're like, I don't know if I can do this. It's just not working. why aren't people joining my team? My challengers, I'm having trouble hitting Success Club. Like yada, 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 because they're not doing their personal development. When you do your personal development, that stuff doesn't happen because you're just too filled up with the good stuff. You're too filled up with possibility. You're too filled up with opportunity. The number one thing I see people skip is inviting. So let me say this, and this is going to be probably the boldest thing I say on this whole entire live. It is so rude. It is so rude to say that you really want to crush your business and not put in the appropriate effort. So rude, because it doesn't just affect you. That's like the most selfish thing you can do, is this shout from the rooftops your goal. You're going to do this. You want to do that. You're going to do this. And then not put forth the effort to do it. You know who that affects? That affects the people in your life who are super excited for you. Like if I said I wanted to reach a certain goal over and over and over, and then I didn't put in the effort, and then I didn't reach that goal because of my own effort, my husband would feel bad for me. My husband would want to, comfort me and say, well, maybe this just isn't going to work for you or whatever. Well, my husband wouldn't say that. My husband would say, well, you didn't do what you needed to do. But it also affects your friends. It affects your team. It affects your upline who is there to help you and support you. So to say that, oh, I want this, I'm going to crush this, and then to not do it is so rude and so selfish. So if you are here and you have this big goal, I have to ask you, why? Like, is your goal for you? Is your goal for you? Or do you want to be a part of, this sisterhood? Because if you do, that's okay. That's okay. If you want to be a part of this sisterhood of amazing, awesome people, then that's awesome. Just don't kid yourself. Because the only thing that's going to happen is you're going to be super frustrated, and then the people in your life are affected by that because they want you to achieve your goals. They want to see you succeed so bad. Most of the people who love us the most and support us, they want us to be more successful than we want ourselves to be. And so when you put that stuff out there and don't go after it, that's just rude. That's just rude. Okay, let me check my notes out here. Okay, here we go. So then what do you do? That's why we're here, right? What do you do if you want to reach your goal? Well, number one, you stay in phase one. You stay in phase one. And what does that mean? Well, that means, you remember when you started coaching and you're like, you asked your upline, what do I do? And you're like, well, you need to work out every day, drink your Shakeology, read your personal development, post on social media, and invite people to be a part of your team and your challenge groups. Yeah? Yeah, that's phase one. And that's probably the single most, what's the word I'm looking for? Life-changing piece of advice I ever got as a coach was to stay in phase one. Because everything changed from that point on. I stopped worrying about my coaches who said they wanted to get to this goal and, weren't getting there. I was like, I got to stay in phase one. I got to stay in phase one because I can only be an example in phase one. That's the only place you can be an example to your team and to your challenge groups is in phase one, is if you are consistently building your own business. I know you want it for them, but you can't. You can't do that. You have to stay in phase one. So here's the trick. Here's the trick. You want to know how to get to your goal? Phase one and upping your numbers. And that's another truth a lot of people don't talk about. So here we go. Phase one, here's what I do with my new coaches. They want to achieve Emerald. I tell them what to do. You need to enroll 2 coaches, okay? 2 active coaches. They achieve Emerald. Then they come to me again, and then they say, okay, now what do I do? I want to get to Diamond. What do I do? I always say, do what you just did again. Go Emerald again. And then I'm going to tell them to do it again. And then I'm going to tell them to do it again. So that they're not overwhelmed and they don't complicate it. Just keep going Emerald. And then teach your coaches how to go Emerald. And then they will teach their coaches how to go Emerald. Wow, it's amazing. This business is so simple. It staggers me to think about how people overcomplicate it. Literally, go Emerald, enroll 2 coaches, then do that again, and then do that again. Guess what? That's phase one. Hello, hello. Look how simple phase one is. Now, as far as upping your numbers, here's what I mean by that. If you want to enroll 2 new coaches this week, you're going to have to invite 20. Because not all of them are going to be ready right now. some of them are going to be ready next week or the week after that or 2 months from now or a year from now. I said no 3 times to my coach. 3 times I said no. The first time she asked me if I'd ever considered coaching, I said, yeah, no, definitely not. I should definitely not be coaching people. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. Then she said, came to me again, like a couple months later. Dude, why are you not coaching? You should totally be coaching. You need to consider it. And I was like, no, this is not for me. This is not for me. And then the third time she's like, okay, you're kind of being ridiculous. Don't you think you should at least be getting a discount? And I was like, discount? Dude, yeah, I should be. And then I started coaching. So you never know. You never know when people are going to decide that it's the time for them or the reason. But truth time, up your numbers. If you have been just limiting your business to 1 hour a day, the jig is up. The jig is up. If you got big old fat goals, then dudes, you're going to have to like amplify and crush that power hour and up your numbers for sure. And so I always say 10 to 1. Out of 10 people that I talk to, 1 is going to be ready right now. A lot of times it's better than that. Sometimes, 2 people are ready right now. But I always just try to know the numbers. And, a lot of times people will say it's a numbers game, meaning try not to take it personal. Try just to invite as many people as you can to this amazing, incredible, like literally, I'm at the beach. We could afford to come here on a whim that I didn't even know about because of this business. And I can sit here and take 10 minutes out of my life to help other girl bosses like become better, reach their goals, and then I can go get a tan. Like, is anyone else like, what other business can you do that in? What other business can you do that in? Oh, and while I'm here, like on vacation, I can take a million different pictures to put into my Instagram feed like Jamie talked about yesterday. And it builds my business. This business is nuts. So get over yourself. Make sure that you are making the appropriate sacrifices and that you're not just kidding yourself. Up your numbers and stay in phase 1, and then you will get to your goal. I promise you. You will get to your goal. If you stay in phase 1, you continue to go emerald over and over and over again and teach your coaches how to do that. You eliminate distractions, you make sacrifices, and you stay in phase 1. It's all there is to it. So let's simplify and do what actually needs to be done, you guys. I hope this was super helpful. I hope that you had some aha moments and you could see, because I know for sure these were major things for me. I was like, oh wait, just because people say power hour, that doesn't mean like there's a ceiling on it. Like I can only work my business for an hour. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean because they say to invite 3 to 5 people that's all I can invite. Take the ceiling off yourself and do what you need to do. Okay, you guys, have a really good day. I'll see you later.